and welcome to the Northwest Treatment Vidcast.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Jessica.
Hi, Léa.
How you doing today?
Oh, getting along.
We shut down on March 20th, so we're almost at 60 days for us with our office.
For the office. Yeah, you're right.
A lot of things have changed in these past 2 months almost.
A lot of stuff has happened. And our main office is mostly alcohol and drug help and support in groups, also mental health.
Yeah.
But we thought we'd kind of talk about one of the subjects that has been in the news, which is some alcohol and drinking during COVID. I just this morning saw an ad my mother was sharing with me. You'll find this entertaining, Léa. That was a Bud Light that was tweeting out their little sales, pitch. And the idea was, remember, 6-pack, 6 feet of distance. They also had you're not driving as much, so you can drink more.
They didn't.
Yes, they did. And they also had something that was bored and no longer working, day drinking.
Oh, that makes me so nervous.
Yeah. So we thought we would talk a little bit about alcohol and what's going on with COVID, because there has been some genuine changes, some statistically significant changes.
Yeah. One of the things that we know is that anytime nationally that there's a moment of national anxiety or any trauma. Of those things, so like 9/11 would have been national trauma that we had or any of those things, right. We know that alcohol sales go up, especially in the short term, as a way to cope with those things.
Correct.
But some of the things that we're seeing, and by we I mean like Jessica, I, and everybody else in the profession, that makes us a little bit more nervous is that these things are kind of sustaining, actually. There's been such an increase in alcohol sales, and actually we're talking specifically alcohol today, but marijuana too. Did you see that marijuana in the month of May for 2020 had a 66% increase in Oregon in sales compared to last year?
Yes. Yeah. And there were a lot of jokes talking about in states where marijuana is legal, which is in Oregon, where you were okay to basically break your stay at home to have a reason to go out to buy marijuana. Or alcohol. And then they did some kind of emergency change in the laws to let you pick up alcohol in Oregon, which was not something that was okay. And then they were looking at being able to deliver alcohol to your home.
Well, and they were talking about it with marijuana too.
Correct.
That's a big change from what the laws had been.
Right, in a small amount of time.
Yeah. I think you've got some statistics about the month of April, right?
Comparing basically the end of March, early April to the year prior, as well as kind of looking in the couple of months leading up to in this year of 2020. And basically the data said that there was a 75% increase in spirits sales by volume, a 66% increase for wine, and online sales of alcohol went up over 200%.
That is insane to me.
It's worrying. It's not hey, everybody likes a drink every now and then, social drinking, whatever your pattern was. The problem is now we don't have patterns. We don't have get up, go to work. It's so much easier to drink during your work day if you are working. If you're not working, there's not that barrier anymore because you lost your job.
Right. The other thing is that, so just to let everybody know, we'll have in the description, we'll have the link to this particular paper that came out. But the other thing that worried me was that if you continued reading it, is that this doesn't account for the bars being shut down. So correct. Not only we're seeing, yes, of course we're seeing an increase in sales, right? Of course you're going to. We're staying at home. We're not going out to the bars. We're not drinking and driving anymore, like those ads are saying. But this doesn't account for, because it was done by volume. They counted how much volume would have been served at the bars by the same time last year is how they compared it, if I remember correctly. And right. What ended up happening is that actually we're well above what it would have been. And the other thing that this particular paper said is also that people are buying the bigger sizes.
Yes.
So they're buying more alcohol, but they're buying it in bigger quantities when they do buy it.
Makes it easier for you to overindulge, either to have more than you plan on in one sitting or more often.
That limit that I had, yeah, that's
Right.
gone.
Already crossed it, which is easier when you're at home because it's not like you're paying for another drink. You don't think of the monetary cost as much.
Right. Because you've already paid it for it. Like, it's at home already. Why not just partake into it?
Right. One of the other kind of scary statistics along with that I found was that they were talking about, especially at the beginning of the pandemic and the beginning of people kind of panicking and doing the like buying all the toilet paper.
Yes.
They
Gotta
were
have that toilet paper, man.
right. They were looking at what is it that people are buying? What are people stockpiling? And there was a statistic that was 22% of people were prioritizing alcohol over food, water, and other medical supplies and like personal hygiene products and cleaning. Like the highest thing that for 22% of people was alcohol.
Is this normal? No. Are we in normal times? Absolutely not. And so some of the things that we also wanted to talk to you guys about is to make sure that, after all this kind of goes down to normal, or we at least acclimate to this new normal of ours, which it looks like this is kind of our new normal, at least for a hot minute here, is to maybe take 30 days of just not drinking. And the reason to do that is to kind of actually pay attention to your emotions, to pay attention to what's happening for you, and to see if you're having cravings.
Right.
And it's not to judge. It's not to be like, oh, look, you white knuckled your way through 30 days. Congratulations. You're not an alcoholic. Like, I'm not interested in labeling anybody. That's not my job anyways. Like,
you're not going to win a star or a sticker if you do or do not, successfully get through it. It's about being aware of it, seeing our patterns.
Exactly. And if you find yourself having either a really hard time staying sober for 30 days, and be honest with yourself, but having a really hard time being sober for 30 days, or you couldn't stay sober for 30 days, or you did, and congratulations, but you found that you were having some like really hard thoughts, like reaching out to a professional, reaching out to people like Jessica and I, like other counselors, whoever's closest to you, and getting that support now before it becomes this huge problem and behavioral pattern of yours that you just don't know where it started, or it starts to unravel in your life, like losing your job eventually, or those kind of things.
Right. And sometimes it's just about noticing it, just being aware of it, asking yourself how much you've drank recently in the last week, the last month, what would you normally do,
track it.
Yeah. The other thing that we did want to mention is that the World Health Organization did put out a notice that basically said that they wanted people to be aware that alcohol in particular, when you consume it, can weaken your immune system, which to a small amount is absolutely true. And then can also increase, not like massively, we're not talking you do so and you're done, but that can increase your risk of acute respiratory distress, which is one of the things that can contribute to or make worse with COVID. And so it's just one of those things that we want you guys to be aware. We want you to make, good questions. We want you to do some research and be able to make informed decisions.
Make good decisions.
Well, hopefully you guys found some useful things with what we're sharing. Again, we'll put some links in the description. If you have any questions or topics you'd like for us to cover at some point, feel free to leave a comment, or you can message us on Facebook or on our website.
And with that, we wish you to be well and to be healthy.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.